Welcome to Pro3, where every race is 30 minutes of nose-to-tail, door-to-door, fender-to-fender action. Thanks to Ryan Hicksenbaugh for photos of the IRDC Summer Classic at Pacific Raceways June 28th and 29th, races 7 and 8 of the 2025 season. And thanks Lance Richard for the grid walk-by. Due to back and eye issues, this was my first race of the year, and 35 Pro3 cars turned out.
Single B.
Pro3 co-founders, twins Wes and Ken Hill, agreed to crew for me this year. Lord knows I need it. With recent cataract surgeries, I can see new Armco walls and 25 cars ahead. Matt Lowell on pole with a 133.8. At the start, Payden Baxter flies by, inches from me in the wall. On his 21st birthday, he rented my car for his first novice race at PIR this April, then bought Ed Whitman's car. Great kid, fun family, and they were all here again at Pacific. Maybe it's the eyes, but I've never felt this comfortable in my car, racing side by side with Travis Kuhl, Guy Berry, and lap after lap, Phil Abrami. What kind of guy tries a shortcut like that? Thank God I backed out at 5A. Imagine blasting through too wide and running into this. Manny Hernandez, who just bought Lance's car with a blown engine. So it's standing yellow at the end of the lap. A quick slowdown at 3A. And throwing a black flag at 5. See that worker on the left taking down the yellow flags? I didn't either, but behind me, Guy Berry did. He must have passed 6 cars. I give chase. And 2 laps later at turn 8, I get by Matthew Martin and Phil Abrami, due more to Phil's tank slapper than any skill on my part. In another 2 laps, I catch up to Travis. He tows me by another West renter, Charles Matson. Charles, did you know your name autocorrects to Manson? I repaid Travis's favor by passing him in 3B. At turn 8, my under-over move falls short, and I just can't get around Payden. I set my sights on Madison McCulloch. And get a good enough exit at 9 to finally pass someone on the front straight. Next lap, Payden and I both blow by Guy Berry, again with issues. I trailed Payden lap after lap. I chased Payden and Johnny MacDermott for 3 laps, to no avail. I later learned Payden was down a lap, but he's a quick learner, gaining a half second from quality to race on a new track. With my second best lap ever, 138.6, I finished 25th. My best lap, a 1/10 of a second behind Johnny Mac. Back in the paddock, I'm parked beside Wes's old number 173, the first Pro3 car I ever drove. Yep, Wes and Ken put the band back together, and I'm part of it. They do all the work, I show up late to grid. Bent over, waiting for back surgery, I move like an old man, but a happy old man. Especially when I get to sit down with old friends Dan and Colleen Adams, and former Pro3 racer Eddie Terrace drops by. That's Donna and Donna Kitch's daughter, Sienna. You should have seen how excited she was after Wes gave her her first Pro3 ride. And Matt King, who gets up and turns off my fan, probably because it was disturbing John Houlihan's nap. As Sienna gives directions, Eddie helps me put on new sponsor decal. In the special relay race, Schelene Clenendin leads me to my spot in the inverted grid. I'm teamed with 2-time Pro3 champ, Brian Berkovitz.
Whoa!
What?
I've never been this close to the pointy end. In the movie Cat Ballou, were you the one they called Kid Schelene?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am. I'm the drunk cowboy and the drunk horse
I know,
that breaks
that's
people
great.
out of jail. That's who I am.
Yep.
At the start, holy crap, I'm getting by Daniele Hovington for about 1 millisecond. Then I'm behind Johnny Mac and beside Matthew Martin. when this winged creature pokes his nose in. Phil Aleva slips by outside while I take Johnny Mac inside. Unless someone else was driving, this was the best I've done against Johnny in years. I almost catch up with Phil and hang with him down the straight as we both pass Charles Matson. Travis gets sideways in turn 2, almost backs into me and forces Phil off, so I move up another 2 spots. I try to catch Matthew and chase down Phil Abrami. Finally pulling an over-under move through turn 2. Matthew blocks me in turn 8, and I squeeze by exiting 3B. He blocks again in turn 2. Then I get squeezed by Jessica Morton. But karma saves the day. Off goes Matthew. If I can get by Jessica, I'll be up 5 places. Fortunately, she backs out at 5A. I pass the Canadian flag at the finish line and head to the hot pits for Brian's turn. We finished 7th of 13 teams. Bryce Scott won. Phil Aleva was 2nd.
Okay.
Yep, fine.
Awesome.
Sunday's qualifying, it's Ken Hill sending me off. Kid Schelene's on the starting grid again, and I'm right beside Coley Tipton. What could go wrong? Coley immediately disappears. I barely get by Lester Soman, and my car flips over almost on its side, forcing me to miss a shift. 2 shifts. But I do pass Guy Berry, probably having issues again, then get blasted by Ryan Knox in his SPM. And Jeffrey Remford, the second fastest guy out there. The new chassis angle does seem to help with Eric Johnson, but also posed a problem downshifting. I finally find 2nd for an impressive compression start. Good thing I didn't miss a shift in front of Brad Greco. Pushing too hard, missing shifts, I qualified 26th-33 with a best lap of 138.9, 1/10 behind Payden, a 10th ahead of Johnny Mac. Don Kitch's Great Pyrenees Enzo 2. His first Enzo, a golden retriever, inspired the movie The Art of Racing in the Rain. Sunday's race. My wife Linda glances at her watch to see how soon I'll be back or how soon she gets rid of me. And Ken moves on to the next car. Me, I'm late to grid and start DFL. Everybody pulls away. I do get by Jessica Morton and Travis Kuhl. Then resume battle with Phil Abrami. But chicken out and give him room at turn 9. He returns the favor by pulling in front of me. It was clean. I finally overtake in turn 2. Extremely rare footage of Brad Greco's Rabbit with all 4 tires on the ground. Jeffrey Remford again. Look at those fans in the stands. They're still there next lap for Rocky Crocker's SPM and Anthony Lowe's Spec E46. I eventually squeeze by Madison McCulloch side by side through turn 9. But he repasses when I overcook it at 3A. I catch up again at turn 8, but can't outpull it. The race is over when Coley Tipton's punted into the Armco at 3A. Sadly, it may be a total. My wife waits diligently at the paddock, and she was paying attention.
It was Coley's car, I think. I think so.
What they said.
Huh?
Coley Tipton.
Yeah.
Top 5 with the usual suspects: Matt Lowell, Corey Peters, Drew Wagner, Kyle Byers, and Scott Eckert. Me, 27th of 32. But I'm back with the Hills brothers. My new eyes work great, and I can't wait for Spokane August 1st and possibly back surgery this fall. See you soon.